We've got Joan Wasser and Harris from Worthmore Jewelers in Amsterdam and Decatur, and Jen from the Giving Kitchen. So when the shutdown started, we did a little bit of a fundraiser on our own. We sort of told Jen afterwards that we were making them the beneficiary of the fundraiser, but we're obviously a jewelry store, but we have so many restaurant workers that shop with us, restaurant owners, workers, food truck people, catering industry, that we wanted to do something to give back to our community, the people who support us. So we were familiar with the Giving Kitchen and the great work they do. And so we did Worthmore's version of takeout. We actually did takeout bags, and we did some little videos of items, and we donated the proceeds to the Giving Kitchen. So we raised $1,000 that we're really excited to donate to the Giving Kitchen. But I will say, after speaking with Jen and telling her, hey, we've got this $1,000 to give you, and her telling me about the $3.6 million that they've helped restaurant workers with over their 7 years, I got even more excited. And I said, can we do a Zoom call where you get to tell people who aren't familiar, there's so many people that are familiar with it, but people who aren't familiar with the Giving Kitchen, what you guys do, how you started, and how they can donate. And then Joan's got a blank check, so we got to figure out who to make this check out to. And then we want to talk some more about another promotion. So tell us about it, Joan.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Harris and Worthmore Jewelers. I mean, it really is, I was telling Harris the other day, it really truly is a community effort. And so you never have to apologize for making sure that food service workers know that you have their back. It's one of our taglines. It takes a community effort. And we've seen that from the very beginning. I was relaying, some information to him about the inception to now, and it really has been the community's response in supporting our food service community, which is the reason why we're able to do the work that we can do. Giving Kitchen really formed after the response of the community after my late husband's diagnosis with cancer. He was given a 6-month cancer diagnosis back in December of 2012. And it was really that community response that ignited the inspiration that this industry did not have anything, didn't have that backbone of support. And here we are now, 7 years later, where we originally were serving just full service restaurants inside, a small metro Atlanta area, and then effectively grew from there over the course of years. And here we are, a statewide agency now serving all of food service workers. So those are members in full service restaurants, quick service restaurants, food trucks, catering, concessions, and anytime that they are in a crisis scenario, whether that's an illness, an injury, the death of an immediate family member, or even a housing disaster like a flood or a fire, Giving Kitchen is there to offer them financial assistance to help them stay in their homes, either through rent or mortgage payments, or to pay for their basic living expenses like their utilities. And another special way that we're able to offer our programming is through our Stability Network program. We learned really early on that these food service workers needed more than financial help. And so we have developed a program that connects food service workers, whether they qualify for financial assistance or not from Giving Kitchen. We can connect them to community resources. So these are low cost and sometimes free services to service providers for mental health counseling, for doctor's referrals, for housing and financial literacy, resources to food resources, things like that. So having contributions and gifts, small and large, especially through individuals and organizations and companies like Worthmore, means really more than you can imagine. An average financial assistance package from Giving Kitchen to a food service worker is around $1,800, and that can literally help pay their rent or their mortgage, those basic living expenses, for upwards of 3 months. So you can imagine what that contribution will do for somebody who's needing help right now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Jane and I, when we spoke last week, and Jane will follow up on this, that what surprised me so much was not just the financial assistance, which is so needed, everybody can feel that right now, but that backup support through counseling and other services is what really, really excited us even more. So Jane.
Right, to start from the beginning and then to understand the needs and how they grow. It's just amazing.
Well, we are grateful to our community. I know I say it a lot, but it's the truth. And especially since COVID, it's really been remarkable to see the individuals primarily who have come to Giving Kitchen's aid. You know, we questioned quite frequently in those first 6 years, was Giving Kitchen necessary to be, you know, this platform for food service workers when they needed the help? And I feel like we can safely answer that question with yes. You know, we all have that favorite server or bartender or dishwasher or chef who is, you know, affected by a crisis today, but what will happen to them in 6 months from now or a year from now when our world is still ever changing? There's an insane amount of uncertainty, but what happens to that food service worker, you know, when they break their leg or their child goes into the hospital for a cancer diagnosis? These are real stories that we see on a daily basis. And, you know, that's why the 5,000 individuals who have contributed to Giving Kitchen since the beginning of COVID has really been able to support our operational, you know, organization to make sure that we're here.
Well, it says, when we spoke last week, at the end of the call, I said how dynamic you are and what you guys have built. And I know that you had tons of help because there's no way to build anything successful without lots of backup. But it's such an unbelievable story while still running other business. You know, this isn't, you know, you're juggling a lot, as is everybody today. And I've always sort of, our store over the 27 years, I always tell our people, it sort of reminds me of your favorite restaurant where, you know, our clients that come in, we have the same faces here. We've been blessed with our staff being here for so long and so many years. And the people come in expecting to see those same faces. So, you know, like you touched on, your favorite bartender, your favorite server, you know, they make your experience more unique at the restaurant. Let's face it, lots of people can make tasty food, but it really is the whole experience. And it's the same thing with our store. It's the experience that's special, that sets you apart. And we're so excited to be aligned with you guys. That is something so special. And who do we make the check out to?
You will be making the check out to Giving Kitchen.
All right. And if people want to donate online, they can even donate online. How do they do that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we always say the greatest gift that you can give to Giving Kitchen is just sharing our story and our mission and making sure that the over 420,000 food service workers who work in our state know that we exist. That is the number one thing. But of course, financial contributions will keep us going. And you can do so at givingkitchen.org.
Great. Y'all make it easy. And for the Worthmore followers and for the Giving Kitchen people who are just seeing us and maybe just becoming familiar with us, keep tuned for our next round of takeout meals, which are jewelry. So they're extra tasty. They make you feel great. You get to wear them every day. They're all price points. We did from $50 up to over $2,000. And again, it's something that makes you feel good. You can gift it to somebody. You can keep it for yourself, but know that the money is really going back to financial, a great source of people who are in need and who do need help. And, you know, again, working together, all of us together are going to be what pulls us through this. And it is the small businesses. We all know that. We are the backbone. And keep in mind, too, one thing that I heard early on during this crisis, and I think we discussed it last week, is small businesses, as a small business owner, we're able to control our environment better than the big box stores. So these independent restaurants that you might have a chance to visit, they can control their atmosphere and their inside and their safety for you and their workers and their guests a lot better than a big box place, because we're not waiting for corporate to tell us what to do. We're in the store daily, or we're in the restaurant daily. We see what adjustments have to be made, and we instantly make those adjustments for everybody's safety.
Absolutely. And they, you know, our restaurants and anyone in food service, they need your help right now. So continue those to-go orders and the takeouts and follow those protocols to keep everybody safe. I think that's what we're all in it together, like you said.
And tip big, more important than ever. So thank you so much for letting us be part of the Giving Kitchen. And Joan, thank you. Joan's in charge of all of our bookkeeping and check writing here. So everybody loves Joan because she makes things happen. So we'll get this check out to you, and we hope to follow it up with another big one.
We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Jen.
you.
Bye.